Time for an out-of-this-world adventure now as we take a look at the stop-motion animated kids series Lunar Jim, that aired for 2 seasons from 2006 to 2007. The show focuses on Jim and his team as they live on the blue moon L22. There is a range of characters that the show features. They include Robo, who is a robot dog; Ripple, who is the red astronaut, who comes up with new inventions; Eco is the farmer, and he is the green astronaut; Ted, who is a robot and is seen as the comedy character. There is also Sky, who is a young trainee and the yellow astronaut. There is also Yik Yak, who is an alien that only speaks in rhyme. They go on a number of adventures together. Let's take a look at the couple of their adventures. First up we have Robo Puzzle. Ripple and Eco are doing a puzzle as Jim walks in and Ted grabs his head. They continue with the puzzle as Ted messes up. Eco shows the finished puzzle as Ted is still trying to understand how the puzzle works. All of a sudden there is a noise as the computer comes to tell Jim what has happened. Some meteors have hit the moon and a robot is trapped. Jim and Rover then get ready as they head off to save the little robot. They take the big green car as Ripple and Ted follow on behind. They arrive to the meteor shower as Jim gets through the mess. They look around for the little robot as Ted is being annoying as usual. They then hear a noise as Ted starts to panic. Rover then says it is that meteor as Jim uses his big car to move the meteor, only to find the little robot broken into many pieces. They take all the pieces back to base as they try to fix the robot together. They all chip in, but they don't make it correctly. They are confused at all the pieces as Ted suggests using his instruction manual. They then remember about the jigsaw they did earlier and how the pieces went together. They then use that experience to fix up the little robot as the computer helps them. They fix the robot together as the robot is back together. The robot wakes up as that's the end of the episode. Next up we have Lunar Legs. Jim is trying to open a cupboard, but it is stuck. All of a sudden Ripple beams in and says Yik Yak is in trouble and stuck somewhere. Jim then gets ready as he heads off to save the day. He then picks the yellow car as Ted hops along for the ride. They speed off to find Yik Yak stuck in a plant. Jim starts pulling, but it is no use. Yik Yak suggests using some slippery stuff. Jim uses the slippery stuff Yik Yak has brought and he flies out. They all head back to the base as they try to open the cupboard once more. It worked as Yik Yak then shows Jim how to do a handshake. Yik Yak then goes to see Eco as he is trying to unstick from flower pots as Yik Yak helps once more. Yik Yak then goes to see Ripple as Jim then calls and says his legs are broken. Eco explains what it is. All of a sudden Eco gets Lunar Legs as Ripple then takes over. Yik Yak unsticks the lever and then gives Ripple the handshake. All of a sudden Ripple gets Lunar Legs as Ted is confused. Everyone has Lunar Legs as they are dancing all over the place. Yik Yak visits Jim as he gives Jim some more sticky stuff. Jim then thinks it was the handshake that gave everyone the Lunar Legs. Everyone then washes their hands as they return back to normal, and that's the end of the episode as everyone does the handshake once more. Next up we have Nightlight. Rover and Jim are playing a game as Sky then comes in and takes the ball as she then explains it is something for her school project. She then explains her school project as it represents the sun and the moon and how the light appears on the moon. All of a sudden Ripple beams in and says Jim needs to go to base. Ripple explains there is something wrong with a solar panel. Jim suggests Sky should lead the mission as they head off and try to fix the problem. They take the yellow car once more as they head to the location. They reach the solar panel as it is open. Sky oils the panel as the sun then goes down. The panels then close, but Sky has left the oil can on the panel, so Ted rushes to get it and gets stuck. Jim and Sky try to get Ted out. They suggest using the yellow car to pull Ted out. However, he picks up the whole panel and it's no use. They try to use the car's headlights to open the panel, but that doesn't work either. Ripple then calls to explain that the panel only opens with sunlight. Jim explains the sun is already down, so Sky suggests moving the panel to the other side of the moon. They do that as they free Ted and get the oil can back to Ripple as they all laugh, and that's that episode done. Finally we have real slick Ted. Jim is out on a job as all of a sudden he slips on some black moss. Rover and Jim are confused as they take some back to Eco. Jim shows the moss to Eco as he tries to use it to unstick the chicken that is stuck in a bowl. It works as the chicken then leaves. Jim then says he wants some fun as he heads back to base. Ted says he doesn't have time for fun. All of a sudden Eco beams in and says the cow has got stuck. Jim gets ready for the adventure as he takes the blue motorbike as it's the fastest. The three of them head to the moss field as they go skating on the moss. Ted doesn't want any fun as he refuses to go on the moss. The others have a lot of fun. Jim shows off his skills as he keeps trying to get Ted onto the moss. He gets on as he finds it uncomfortable. It all goes to chaos as he can't stop and ends up crashing. He then gets stuck in some rocks as the gang try to get him out. They keep going as they can't get him out. Ted cannot stop laughing as they all fall over. Jim then suggests to use the crane they brought with them. That doesn't work either. So Eco suggests moving the rocks, but Ripple says that is impossible. Jim slips on some moss as they suggest using the moss to free Ted. Rover then forces Ted out as he flies out of the rocks as that's the end of the episode. Lunar Jim was a very good show and very funny. The adventures are very good and it is good if you like out of space. Overall it's a great show. So thank you for watching. If you have any TV shows you like to see me do, put them in the comments.